Those who educate children well are more to be honored than parents. For this only gave life. Those the art of living well, said by the great philosopher and scholar. I would like to welcome Dr. P. Sami sir, Associate Professor of Chemistry, VHNSNC College, Virudhunagar. He had completed MSc Local PhD. He has 20 years of teaching experience. In this academic, he held various positions, serving as Dean Student Services since 2012, Activity Coordinator for Training Program and Entrepreneurship Development Skills, sponsored by Rajiv Gandhi National Institution of Youth Development, Ministry of Skill Development, Entrepreneurship, Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India in 2017. An activity coordinator for Reddington Employability Skills Development Training Program, sponsored by Foundation for CSR at Reddington since 2016. He is a coordinator for Entrepreneurship Development Cell of VHNSN College and organized entrepreneurship awareness program on business orientation and self-employment for students. And he take care of the differently abled students studying in our college and organized several programs for them since 2011. And he organized the TNSCST sponsored Young Students Scientist program as coordinator during the summer vacation of 2012 and 2013. His area of interest are investigation on heteropolyoxometalates and their derivatives, characterization and applications of polyoxometalates based compounds, and applications of it and their derivatives, and characterization of nanocompressions. Dr. P. Sami sir got research project named Spectral and Electrochemical Characterization and Applications of Heteropoly Acids and their Derivatives as Eco-Friendly Redox Catalyst, funded by UGC. And also he got from studies on electron transfer reaction and antimicrobial activities of mixed adenta hydropolyoxometalates, funded by UGC. He received an award, Satyok Best Teacher Award in 2017, given by Reddington at CSR, Chennai. He published more than 26 research papers in popular journals and 6 papers published in ISBN edited book. He presented nearly 46 papers at national and international levels. Under his guidance, more than 35 students got MPhil degree and 3 of them completed their doctoral degree and 2 of them pursuing their PhD. And one more highlights of him is எங்கள் விருதுநகர் இந்து நாடார் செந்திக்குமார் நாடார் கல்லூரியின் கம்பன் எங்கள் சாமி ஆசிரியர். So let me invite session chair Dr. P. Sami sir to introduce the keynote speaker of Professor Dr. Susil Kumar Kansal, Dr. SSP University Institute of Chemical Engineering and Technology, Punjab University, Chandigarh, Punjab. Sir, please.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words of introduction. Good morning to the experts, organizers, and delegates joined together through online in this international virtual conference. Today, we are all celebrating the birthday of former President of our nation, Dr. Sarvapalli S. Radhakrishnan, as Teachers' Day. In this webinar, many innovative teachers are joined with us through online. On behalf of the organizing committee, first I extend my warm Teachers' Day greetings to you all. On this auspicious day, our VHNSNC College is organizing this 3-day international virtual conference on recent innovations in science, engineering, and social sciences in association with PEARL, a Foundation for Educational Excellence, Bengaluru. Today is the second day, and we are eagerly awaiting to listen the second session of the day by Professor Dr. Susil Kumar Hansal on the title Treatment of Organic Pollutants present in Industrial Wastewater using Nanophotocatalysts. First of all, I am highly thankful to the organizers for giving me the opportunity to chair this session, and really I am delighted to introduce the eminent resource person of this session, Professor Dr. Susil Kumar Hansal, to the delegates. Yes, indeed, Professor Dr. Susil Kumar Dr. Sushil Kumar Khansal. Now he is working as professor in Dr. S.S. Bhatnagar University, Institute of Chemical Engineering and Technology, Punjab University, Chandigarh. His area of specialization are materials chemistry, environmental engineering, water pollution, pollution sensing. These are all the topics that are need of the hour by the nation, by the globe itself. As far as his educational qualifications are concerned, he completed his diploma in mechanical engineering in the State Board Technical Education, Punjab. After that, he completed his BE Chemical Engineering in the year 1998 at SLIET, Longawal, Punjab. After that, he completed his ME in Chemical Engineering in the year 2001 at Punjab University, Chandigarh. During that period, he completed a project on the title Prediction and Performance of Industrial Cyclones. And then he completed his PhD in Chemical Engineering in Punjab Technical University, Jalandhar. And the title of his thesis is Studies on Heterogeneous Photocatalytic Systems for Detoxification of Industrial Effluents. Internationally, he will be rewarded with several fellowships, including DAAD fellowship and a short stay program at Institute for Technology, Chemie at Germany. Then he received Visiting Scientist Award at College of Material Science at South China University of Technology, China. Then he is nominated as a visiting scholar in Mauritius under 5th UGC TEC Consortium program during the year 2012. He is also served as visiting faculty at University of Waterloo, Canada in the year 2012. His work is agreed by and received many national as well as international awards such as Srimati Premlata Jain Best Researcher Award in the year 2017 and Kiyoshi the Think of Ecology Award in the year 2019 by Japan. And he also received, this is a highlight of professor, he also received $1,100 for publishing an article in Chemical Reviews. The Chemical Reviews journal is published by American Chemical Society and its impact factor is more than 50. Now we are having such a great professor with us as our expert. And he is having his role in science and technology as a teacher is very, very impressive. He served as mentor of international training programs and he served several administrative positions in Punjab University and he collaborated with several industries. And as a highlight, he is having very good collaboration with Reliance Industry Limited, Vadodara, and his contributions to the through publications are highly impressive. Totally, he published 125 articles. Among these, 111 articles are published in reputed journals and 14 as book chapters. And he published more than 40 papers in national as well as international seminars. To his credit, he has completed 7 MHRD, DST, UGC, AACT sponsored research projects, and he have given talks in several innovative talks, more than 85 talks in national and as well as international conferences. And he served as academic review for many journals, and he visited many countries like Germany, China, Canada, UK, Hong Kong, Singapore. And he is the member of many, more than 6 professional academic bodies. With this brief introduction, actually I am briefing his introduction. His introduction is more than 15 pages. I just brief that introduction and give it to you. With this brief introduction, on behalf of the organizing committee, I cordially invite Professor Sushil Kumar Khansal to share his expertise in the field of photocatalysis towards environmental protection. Now I handed over the session to Professor S.K. Khansal. Sir, please, we are all eagerly awaiting to listen you, sir. Now it's your time, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Sami, for giving detailed introduction, I would speak. Thank you. I'm also thankful to the organizers of this international conference for inviting me and giving me chance to interact with the young research scholars as well as the faculty from all over the country as well as few from outside our country. Also, I'm thankful to Professor Jack Maranji, Dean, for giving this chance, as well as Professor Muthuchelianji, who has, talked to me regarding this conference and invited me. So I'm thankful to each and everyone and all, organizers of this conference and the college administration organizers. So thank you very much. So the title of talk is the treatment of organic pollutants present in industrial wastewater using nanophotocatalysts. I'm S.K. Kansal from Punjab University. Briefly about my university. Punjab University is situated in Chandigarh, which is the unit territory as well as the capital of two states. One is Haryana, another is Punjab. So this Chandigarh city is a beautiful city. This Punjab University has been shifted from Lahore after partition in 1947. Still in Lahore, there is a Punjab University. So my university is a very, very old university and a reputed university. And about our department, earlier the name of this institute was the Department of Chemical Engineering. It was established in 1958. So by Bhatnagarji, Shanti Subbu Bhatnagarji, that's why one of our vice chancellor, last vice chancellor, he has converted our department to institute and in the name of Bhatnagarji. That's why it is Dr. S.S. Bhatnagar, Shanti Subbu Bhatnagar University Institute of Chemical Engineering and Technology, Punjab. So we are running undergraduate courses, postgraduate courses, as well as PhD. The total students strength about 700 plus in our institute alone, and my Punjab University has 85 departments. Our department is one of those 85 departments. So this is the little introduction about my university and my department. So coming to the topic, my topic again, I'm repeating: treatment of organic pollutants present in industrial wastewater using nanophotocatalysts. First of all, we have to see. We have to understand the problem of water pollution. We all know this is a big problem and it is a universal problem, global problem, and everyone we are facing the scarcity of drinking water, drinkable water, as well as other forms of water. What are the reasons? If we see, there is a rapid industrial development as well as urbanization is going on, and definitely there is a use of water for different purposes is increasing day by day. If you talk about any industry, let me take one example. Suppose we want to process 1 ton of, we want to produce 1,000 or 1 ton of paper on which we are writing. So for the processing of 1 ton of paper, we need almost 200 times of 1 ton. Almost 200 meter cube of water is being used for the production of this paper. Now you can well imagine how much quantity of water is being utilized for producing 1 ton of paper. And the medium scale industries in India are producing 50 to 100 tons per day. So now you see, now you can well imagine how much the volume of water being utilized. If this is being utilized for process, definitely we are getting the dry paper. So at the end, almost equal quantity of water is being produced as wastewater or effluent. This is one example. This is the case of one industry. Similarly, the textile industry, everybody knows there is a big problem all over the country. They are using water and producing wastewater. So we can well imagine the quantity of water being utilized as well as the wastewater which is being produced from these industries. Now, first of all, we have to see how we can, first of all, we have to understand the problem. If we want to work in this direction, then the individual, processes involved in that particular industry. So, if I take the example of again pulp and paper, or maybe textile, or maybe pharmaceutical industry, the amount of wastewater being generated as well as the quality of that wastewater, that depends upon the which type of raw material we are utilizing, how much the concentration of different chemicals used during process, and what are the process conditions. This is a little bit technical, but I will not go into detail. So, if I take the example of pulp and paper mill, then what type of raw material being utilized? We all know that paper is made from wood. I believe we can speak from wood. There are different raw materials which can be utilized, which are being utilized, like agricultural residue or some non-woody material, some type of grasses, bamboo, bagasse. These are the non-woody raw materials which can be utilized. Now, the quality of the wastewater which is generated in industry will definitely depend upon the input raw material. So it means the contents of the raw material will come into the wastewater. Concentration of different chemicals used during processing. Yes, very, very important. What is the concentration of these chemicals which is being utilized during the processing? If you take the same case for the processing of wood or maybe non-wood raw material, sulfides are being utilized, sodium, soda salts are being utilized. So definitely they will come into the wastewater stream. And for the decolorization of pulp, fluorinated compounds are used. So if you make a reaction between chlorine and organic compounds, suppose wood, definitely some organochlorine compounds will be formed. These organic compounds will come into the raw material. Will come into the will come into wastewater, effluent. It means my process should be designed in such a way that which will be able, my wastewater treatment process should be that which should be capable to treat these type of pollutants. And the process conditions. Which type of processing conditions are the temperature, pressure. So if I take here I'm taking the same example, maybe from textile. What do you think? What type of pollutants are being coming into the wastewater of textile industry? Large quantity of dyes, which are carcinogenic. Now, dyes are not easily biodegradable, or they degrade very slowly. So, do you think you must think that my effluent treatment system of the industry, a particular industry, should be capable to treat these type of pollutants. So various organic pollutants in general, I can speak, various organic pollutants are present in wastewater. That include alkanes, haloalkanes, aromatics, haloaromatics, polymers, surfactants, herbicides, pesticides, pharmaceutical. If you talk about the pharmaceutical industry, now various number of drugs are being utilized for the treatment of human being, for the treatment of aqua life, for the treatment of animal life, birds. So if you think about these pharmaceuticals which are not being utilized, they are just being dumped into the sewage. The exit of hospitals, the discharge of industries, the discharge of residential complexes that contain lots of pharmaceuticals, lots of drugs. Now, most of the drugs are not easily biodegradable. So think of it. So in general, I can speak these compounds which I have mentioned, which are shown in this slide, are very toxic, and degrade slowly in the environment. And moreover, these substances persist in the environment for a long time. That result into a number of adverse effects and disorders in human life. This is the data. You can read it. On an average, high-income countries treat about 70% of the wastewater they generate. 70%. While this ratio drops to 38% in upper middle income countries and 28% in lower middle income countries. And in low income country like us, only 8% of industrial and municipal wastewater undergoes treatment. Just think of any kind. This is the data. Maximum we can speak 10%. Up, you can well imagine how much wastewater is being treated by any method. First of all, the treatment of wastewater. Then, second question, whether that treatment is sufficient or effective or not. If I ask about what is the purpose of sewage treatment plant, STP, at city level, or maybe effluent treatment plant at industrial level. The purpose of any wastewater treatment, the purpose of any effluent treatment should be to meet the designed standards, to meet the quality parameters which have been set by the agencies. So there are standards, maybe drinking water standard, maybe raw water standards, maybe effluent treated water standard. So the purpose of any wastewater treatment facility should be that which can meet those quality standards. Otherwise, my system is not capable, not suitable, not we can recommend. So this is the situation. Now, if we are not treating wastewater containing those type of organic pollutants, maybe industry is not treating, maybe sewage treatment plants are not capable. So just think the fate of the exit water which is coming into the environment. The partially treated water which they are discharging into the environment, how much havoc that water will do, that will cause. This is a major concern. Everybody know the water scarcity, clean water, how much available, and what's the need, how much the need of this water. There are many cities in our country as well as in world, especially in South Africa and other countries, even our country, Bangalore, your city, Bangalore, is going to be water scarce. So this is a big problem. We are developing at a faster rate, but we should be very, very careful with regard to the environment, whether it is water, air, or maybe soil. So there is a public concern. There is a definite concern by the public as well as government. Legislations are becoming more and more stringent toward the release of these pollutants containing effluents. So we have to work in this direction. First, as a citizen, as an environmentalist, as a scientist, I would speak, first of all, we should try to conserve our natural resources. Utilization should be optimum and in a wiser way. This is a one line solution of this problem. Don't generate or don't try to generate pollution. So how we can do it? If we use our resources wisely. So as I have already just told that what is the purpose of wastewater? So it is written over here. Everyone can read. The purpose of wastewater treatment is to remove the contaminants from water so that the treated water can meet the acceptable quality standards. The quality standards usually depend upon whether water will be reused or discharged into a system. So standards are there. Purpose is clear. Now how we can do wastewater treatment at industry level or maybe at city level. These wastewater treatment processes are generally grouped according to the water quality they are expected. Definitely. Right? What's the quality of my input water? What quality I have to take after treatment? Based on both parameters, we can design my wastewater treatment plant. I can design my effluent treatment plant. I can design my sewerage treatment plant. Generally, these treatment processes are divided into three categories. One is primary treatment. Now, what is the purpose of this primary treatment? Primary treatment removes identifiable suspended solids and floating. Suppose in your water there is a presence of some suspended materials, maybe some plastic pieces, or maybe some sand in the form of solids, or maybe any other solid which is not soluble. So that can be removed under this step, primary treatment. Then secondary treatment. It is also known as biological treatment, which treats organic matter that is soluble or in the colloidal form. जो घुला हुआ है, which is soluble, like your dyes, like your salts, maybe your benzene, maybe your chloroform, maybe your ethanol, maybe your biological origin material, which is soluble. That can be treated at this step. And this is a very, very important step. Third is the advanced waste treatment. That may involve physical method, chemical method, biological method, or the combination of all these. Now, I have spoken about the wastewater treatment in general. Primary treatment, if I speak about the primary treatment, what are the different components of primary treatment? Maybe sedimentation, maybe clarification, maybe grit removal, maybe screening. These are the sub-components of primary treatment. Then secondary treatment, mainly we assume in the secondary treatment biological operations. Biological operation means aerobic dilution. Anaerobic dilution is also. Trickling filters are also. So activated sludge process is the main component of the secondary. The tertiary or advanced treatment, there are a number of, I have said, physical methods, chemical methods, biological methods. Physical means microspinning. Then your reverse osmosis processes. There is ultrafiltration. There is nanofiltration. There is oxidation method. There are oxidation methods. So these are methods which are having tertiary treatment. So I can discuss each and every one method because this is my research area. But here I am restricting myself to one of the advanced oxidation method, which is called heterogeneous photocatalysis. So advanced oxidation processes which comes under the category of tertiary treatment. These are environmental friendly methods which are capable of destroying the organic materials without the production of harmful byproducts and disposal. These methods are based mainly on the formation of very reactive and oxidizing free radicals, which is hydroxide radical, OH. So if we see the overall reaction of advanced oxidation process, which is organic pollutant in the process of oxygen, the products are carbon dioxide, water, and other gases. The overall. So advanced oxidation systems are divided into two. One is homogeneous. Homogeneous means single phase, maybe with the help of ultraviolet rays, maybe with the help of ozone or some oxidant like hydrogen peroxide. Whereas in the heterogeneous system, there is two phase with the help of light, maybe UV or solar, in the presence of catalyst, or maybe in the presence of oxygen, maybe H2O2, maybe some hypochlorous, or maybe other oxidant can. No, as I said, I will concentrate on heterogeneous photocatalysis system. This heterogeneous photocatalysis system has many advantages over homogeneous. Like there is a complete oxidation of organic pollutants in a few hours. Oxidation of pollutant even up to ppb range. This process is immune to organic toxicity. And this process can be applied equally well to liquids as well as to gaseous streams. And major advantage of this process, we can utilize the potential of sunlight instead of any artificial source of UV. So cost reduction is there. If you see the mechanism of this process, very simple. The round portion is showing the metal semiconductor. So you have the titanium dioxide, the metal semiconductor. Now we know that the metal semiconductor is being characterized by balanced light as well as the conduction. Both bands are separated by a band gap energy. Now, when a ray of light or energy more than this energy band gap falls on the semiconductor, what will happen? The electron will move from the valence band to the conduction band by generating holes in the valence band. Now these holes then will react with the adsorbed water molecule to generate hydroxyl. These hydroxyl radicals are the actual species which oxidize it. Similarly, the electrons in the conduction band also generate the superoxide anions. Now these superoxide anions further generate hydroxyl. So this is the brief input or mechanism of heterogeneous photocatalysis. This is a very much explored process since last 30 years. Too much research is being carried out at world level. Initially, Fujifilm and Honda in Japan, who was considered as the originator of this phenomena, who utilized titanium TiO2 as a catalyst. So many metal oxides have been explored like TiO2, zinc oxide, tin oxide, bismuth oxide, iron oxide, etc. And few metal sulfides are being being explored like cadmium sulfide, zinc sulfide. Now, these conventional type metal oxides have been extensively studied for water in their application, and their potential to breed several hazardous compounds in contaminated air as well as water under UV light is well known. Under UV light. Why UV light? If you see here, if you take the band gap energy of titanium dioxide, that is what 3.2 electron. So this energy can be surpassed by a wavelength of about 380, 365 nanometer. So 365 nanometer is in the UV region. That's why UV energy is required to excite this sample. But it means you need an artificial light source, UV light source, to carry out the reaction. Before coming to the next portion, I just want to discuss about one industrial wastewater and its composition. I am taking the example of pulp and paper mill. If somebody knows about the pulp and paper mill, there are different sections, there are different steps of process. One is digestion, in which pulp is produced. Second section is bleaching, where decolorization of that pulp is carried out. Third one is the stock-preparation, in which surface treatment as well as bulk treatment of the pulp is given to have desired properties. Then the sheet formation, which is the final step to form a sheet, paper sheet. So if we see all the production processes among these different steps of production, pulp bleaching often accounts for the largest toxicity and responsible for the high level of total organic carbon, chemical oxygen demand, and chlorinated organics. Why? Because in bleaching section, oxidants are utilized, like chlorine, chlorine dioxide, hydrogen peroxide, hypochlorous acid, ozone. These chemicals are used. If you analyze the quality of wastewater with bleach plant wastewater, then you can easily understand how many compounds, organic compounds are present in that water. It is well mentioned in the literature that approximately 300 different organic compounds are identified. Which type of organic compound? Like phenols, chlorophenols, and other substituted chloroderivatives and resonant fatty acids. As well as in the pulp and paper mill effluent, dyes are here because to color the paper, we use different types of dyes. That means in wastewater, industry wastewater, pulp and paper mill industry, you have chlorinated organo compound, you have organics coming from the raw material, as well as from here, you are having different types of dyes and other chemicals. So fine, sodium salt, etc. Now, it is well documented in the literature that if we want to produce 1 ton of paper, only 1 ton. As I have earlier mentioned, Indian medium type industry, they are producing 50 to 100 tons of paper daily. You are getting 100 kg of coloring particles in body and 2 to 4 kilogram of organochlorines. Just imagine. So in my group, we have taken one initiative in which we have treated our wastewater at lab scale using this process. For that, we have taken unbleached pulp from peppermint. Then bleaching is a multi-step procedure. Pulp bleaching. So we have done 2 steps at a laboratory scale to generate chlorine stage wastewater. Why we have done bleaching at industrial scale, so that bleaching can be done under the controlled process conditions. So we have taken pulp and then chlorination was done, then extraction was carried out, and we could generate different types of wastewater samples under different process conditions, which was then maintained, kept at temperature of 4 degrees. You see, these are the process conditions which we have applied in the laboratory on pulp. 70% of the demand of the chlorine demand was supplied. Similarly, these are the process conditions. I will not go into detail of it. Now you see the picture. What is the color of the wastewater which we could get after the bleaching? Then we have treated this wastewater using heterogeneous photocatalysis utilizing titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. Both are commercial catalysts which are available in the market. Then you see the conditions result. Almost 40% of COD, that is chemical oxygen demand, which is a very important parameter that tells the quality of the water. Roughly, similarly, biological oxygen. 67% reduction was obtained utilizing titanium dioxide. Similarly, in the case of zinc oxide, we get only 38% here. Then we have taken industrial wastewater of different stages, and we have treated this wastewater utilizing these commercial catalysts, and we found that good results that can be reported, that can be documented. You can see almost more than 80% COD was reduced. Now, these were the results of commercial catalysts which are available, like metal oxide, mainly metal. Now, these metal oxide catalysts or photocatalysts have strengths, like they are non-toxic, they are cost effective, they are highly efficient, they are stable. Metal oxides, I'm talking about metal. But there are certain shortcomings associated with the metal oxides, which are they are having wide band. They can utilize a small portion of sunlight, because if you see the electromagnetic spectrum, sunlight spectrum, then there is only 5 to 7% UV portion. So it means if we want to utilize the sunlight, which is freely available in our country, then only 5 to 7% portion we can utilize by utilizing these photocatalysts, titanium dioxide. Whereas our catalyst should cater the maximum portion of visible light, that is about 40% in the electromagnetic spectrum. So next target for researcher to develop some catalysts which can cater that much portion of sunlight. Another problem is associated with the metal oxide, that is electron hole recombination. That leads to the wastage of atomic energy. So these, if you see the solar energy spectrum, just see 5% UV and 46 or 45 plus percent is visible portion. So it means we have to produce those type of catalysts which can cater this much portion. Now, how we can synthesize, how we can fabricate, how we can produce those type of catalysts which would be able to get that portion of visible light. Different routes are there. This slide summarizes the whole routes which are available to fabricate promising photocatalysts. We can, one route is morphological modifications. You see, Under the morphological modifications means we have to increase surface area. How we can increase the surface area? By producing nanoparticles. How we can increase the porosity? Yes, by producing particles of nano size and improve the crystalline. That can be reduced if we can synthesize monodisperse catalyst particles, means of one size. That is little difficult job, but it is an area where young researchers can concentrate and try to produce monodisperse nanoparticles, or maybe metal oxides, or maybe some another combined oxides, or you can produce one-dimensional, two-dimensional, or three-dimensional. Second route is the chemical modification, means by incorporation of additional components. Chemical modifications will result into visible light active catalysts. How? If we are one route is if we dope the catalyst with certain metals, or maybe non-metals, or maybe some transition metals, then impurities can be generated, or levels can be generated in the band gap of the metal oxide. So our purpose is to reduce the band gap so that our catalyst can cater the visible light portion, because the less energy is required to excite. So by this way, we can generate some doped catalysts. Another way is the coupling of the catalyst. Coupling of some semiconductors with maybe other semiconductors, other metal oxides, or maybe with metal sulfides, or maybe there should be a combination of halides and metal oxides like AgX. X may be Cl or bromine or other components. Or nowadays, you can see in the literature, graphene-based catalysts are being explored. Why graphene? Because it is a nut, as well as it has high surface area and availability of OH radicals. So this slide gives the target. In this side, we all know sunshine is available in abundance in this country, India. So the application of AOPs using solar light can be a cost and energy effective detoxification. So for this, we have to develop certain visible light active catalysts, which is just highly desirable for improving their photocatalytic efficiency under visible light or maybe solar light. So in this side, I will discuss one material which my group has prepared, and we have published this material in a very good time. That is iron doped titanium. What we have done, we have taken the precursors of both, one is iron precursor and another titanium precursor, and then use some method to dope this iron into the titanium crystal. After preparing the material, then we have characterized. Now, whenever you are preparing any material, how you know that my material is prepared, whatever we want, which material, the material you have prepared, that should be characterized, that should be fully characterized to know the quality of that material. So for this material, we could do many characterization techniques. We have utilized many analytical techniques like X-ray diffraction of the structure. You can easily note first two figures. First one is the XRD images of TiO2, which we have produced. Then after getting the analysis, then you have to analyze whether my material is of titanium or there is some impurity. So There are standard JCPDS cards are there, which can be utilized to check the material quality which you have produced. And similarly, the figure you see titania and different composites, different compositions of iron dome. All figure, all the peaks are in accordance with this standard table. So it means iron has been doped. Maybe there is a replacement of titanium 4 by Fe, but there is no structural deformation of titanium. Now see the FeSM or SM images. Almost a spherical type nanoparticles are produced. Another property, extraphotoelectron spectroscopy we have done. By the spectroscopy, we can get insight into the composition, surface composition of the material. So first is the surface spectrum, B, C, D corresponding to the Pi2P, Fe2P, and oxygen. You see the binding energy of titanium 2P at 458.7 electron volt and 464.3 electron volt. Similarly for iron and oxygen. So which makes with the standard binding energy. So that tells that the material is having iron in the form of Fe2 plus. So my material is iron doped titanium, not a composite. Then the major property which tells about that my catalyst can cater visual that can absorb that portion of light which but that one analytical technique that is UV diffuse reflectance spectroscopy can be used. If you see the band edge of titanium is at 387 nanometer, which leads to which tells that the titanium is having 3.2 electron volt. But when we have told with different amounts of iron, you can say there is a shifting of band edge towards 426 nanometer. That leads to the 2.9 electron volt, which is suitable to cater the visible portion. Similarly, second figure shows the photoluminescence spectrum of iron dome titanium. Here also there is a reduction in the PL intensity with respect to the doped material, which tells that there is a restriction of electron hole recombination, which leads to the saving of our photonic energy. So our purpose was to reduce the band gap as well as to have the nanoparticles which will give high surface area because it's a surface reaction, photocatalysis, heterogeneous photocatalysis. So after I'm showing here some techniques, but we have done more techniques also in the research article we can explore. After characterizing the catalyst, we have utilized this catalyst for the degradation of dye 1. So C graph, you see it is the visible UV visible absorption spectra under UV light. The reaction has been carried out under UV light. Visible light. Visible light for the degradation of methylene blue dye. Concentration of methylene blue dye was 10 milligram per liter, and catalyst dose was used 0.05 and pH 7.1. You see, with respect to time, the main chromophore of the dye has been reduced. So it means my dye has been decolorized. Then next, the figure shows the comparison of different prepared catalysts to see which ratio is the optimal. So we can see 0.075 FET catalyst is the efficient catalyst amount. Now, in this slide, you see we have degraded 4-nitro, which is a compound that cannot be easily burned. You see the spectra, the major peak, the characteristic peak wavelength is reduced with respect to that. Then in the B figure, you see we have done some experiments in which we could see whether there is a light-induced reaction in the presence of catalyst or not. You see the red curve, red data line shows that there is that if we carry out the reaction under only light, then there is almost nil degradation. Whereas if we remove the light, only put the catalyst, means if we absorb the pollutant onto the catalyst, then almost 30% removed. But when you carry out the reaction in the presence of light, then almost 90% your pollutant is degraded. Similarly, C is the comparison among the prepared catalyst, and D. This is important. Then we have compared our prepared catalyst with the commercial catalyst, whether my catalyst is better than the commercial catalyst. So you see the prepared catalyst shows much higher degradation than the commercial. So similarly, we have there was a doped catalyst, iron dope. Here we could prepare a composite of silver oxide and titanium. I will not go into detail, but I'm showing you just the characterization part because I want to give some time for the queries. So you see XRD pattern and then morphological evaluations by SEMOD, TEM, and then the elemental mapping, X-ray photoelectron results, similarly UV visible DRS results, photoluminescence results, surface area results. Surface area is very, very important property. So we should know how much the surface area of the prepared. Then the degradation studies. So I'm not going to detail. So I'm coming with another catalyst I have for. So my summary of presentation is that first of all, we have to analyze the problem, maybe water pollution problem. We have to analyze in depth. Then what is the quality of the water that we want to treat? Then which process I am utilizing? What are the strengths and weaknesses of that process? And ultimate factor is the cost. No doubt, this process is costly, but if you compare with the other process, each process, maybe most, we are talking about the tertiary treatment, they are having inherent disadvantage as well as advantage. So we have to compare. So at the end, I would like to thank the organizers of this conference, as well as special thanks to Professor Mukhuchelian for questions. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, for your inspiring lecture.
Thank you.
In our college also, in the Department of Chemistry, we are carrying out some sort of research on your topic. That's we are also carrying out some research on using the photocatalytic nanomaterials as photocatalysts towards the environmental issues. Actually, we are carrying out that particular research in the synthesized material. You showed it to you the real-time example, and that's highly useful for researchers like me. On behalf of the participants, I'm having a couple of questions, sir. The first one, what's the major criteria for a material? What's the major criteria for a material to act as a photocatalyst?
Yes, the major criteria is its. If we want to utilize my material under sunlight, definitely if we are talking about photocatalyst, then light source is required. So nowadays, there is a potential to utilize the visible light as well as the extended visible light. It is corresponding to the IR region. So I have to I have to fabricate some catalysts which can cater this portion. Second, there should be minimization of electron-hole recombination and the maximum surface area, because it is a surface reaction. So if we can produce materials of high surface area, that would be very suitable. And the last one, that is the stability of the catalyst. Stability is very, very important. Recyclability is very important. Yes.
Nice answer, sir. One more question, sir.
Yeah.
Even in 1990s, I think that's so, sir. The hot topic was using ruthenium biprodyl compounds. Ruthenium biprodyl compounds as a water splitting agents. They are also, I think, if I am correct, in a particular conference, one particular professor, like a technical man, showed us he is splitting water with the help of ruthenium byproducts. That's in the year 1990s. Then
even now.
But the technology is not come to market. But actually, in the materials that you are discussed, that are the titanium dioxide doped with iron, that materials are nowadays available as a actually environmentally friendly reagents.
Yeah.
What happens to ruthenium chemistry process? That's my question.
What happens with this technology? There are few commercial plants in Spain, Sweden, as well as US, as well as in Germany. Actually, I have done some work with Professor Banneman, who is the leading, researcher in heterogeneous photocatalysis at Leibniz University at Hanover. So there also, in Japan also, some commercial, results are coming with respect to air purification, not with the water. Water is little difficult. Why? Because I have mentioned in my talk, enormous volume of water is being generated at industrial scale. So that is a problem, because ultimately we have to come at the cost. So in India, all industries, major industries, they have plants up to secondary level. Nobody is going to install tertiary treatment methods. Tertiary treatment methods are very, very costly. Suppose you want to install reverse osmosis.
Yes, sir.
Methods. So reverse osmosis, what are the disadvantages associated with reverse osmosis? But still, everything is going on. Our agencies, whatever the agencies in our country are, they are not very strict, and everything is going on. But ultimately, we have to come out with certain tertiary treatment methods to tackle this problem. Otherwise, whatever the water they are discharging, treated water they are discharging, is not up to the acceptable quality standards. So we have to manage. We have to compromise between the cost and the quality of it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Your session is so inspiring. Actually, you are sharing your experiences, your practices, your experiences with us, sir. That's a great thing during even this pandemic situation. Professor Muthichalian and Professor Jayakamaran of our college, they planned in a nice manner. Thank you, Professor. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us. And this work is having more environmental importance, and that's the need of this our research. That's the need of this our research. And thank you for sharing your expertise in this field with us. And thank you for your presentation, sir. Thank you, Professor Jayakamaran, as well as the organizing committee, for giving me a chance to chair this wonderful, excellent session. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor.